Coming up on Good Morning Texas, we see how journalists respond to fake news.
We discover if millennials are stepping away from religion.
And we take you along with us to Holy.
All this and more coming up on Good Morning Texas.
Good morning, Texas. I'm Erin Chansey.
And I'm Avery Tanner. Thank you for joining us today. So, Erin, now is spring break over. It looks like the school year is kind of wrapping up. How's everything going?
It is. It's been tough. It's definitely a lot of work. I'm sure that's the same case for you as well.
Lots of classes, but everything is kind of winding down now, which is nice.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm excited for, this week, getting a couple things out of the way, and then as soon as that's done, I'll be able to relax a little bit, and that will be a very welcomed break for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I'm definitely looking forward to summer approaching very soon. I know that I've got some plans for internships. Are you kind of looking at the same thing?
Yeah, I'll be in Los Angeles this summer with UTLA, so looking forward to that, finding a journalism internship, and I know you're planning the same.
Yeah, absolutely. So even though we've got this great, awesome look at journalism, fortunately the anti-journalist phenomenon increased with the introduction of fake news. Cortland Cole discovers how journalists young and old respond.
Now, is the press perfect? Of course not.
Under President Trump's administration, the word journalist is synonymous with enemy.
Give us a question.
Don't be rude.
No, I'm not going to give you a question.
I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir,
go ahead.
Can you state?
3 from the beginning.
Journalism is under attack, and we should be very proud of the role that we play in our society, and we need to make people aware of how essential we are in a democracy.
Since the emergence of the term fake news in early November, the term's search increased by 100%, peaking in late January.
It's about intentional effort to misinform the public, either to make money, such as off Google advertising, or for a political goal.
To combat the general opinion of journalists, groups have emerged such as the Press Corps Division of the Central Texas Girl Scouts, whose goal is to teach the core principles of journalism at the age of 12.
Don't let age or gender or anything stop you. And if you can't find something for you, just make it your own.
Stand up for journalism.
Cortland Cole, Good Morning Texas.
A growing number of young adults are turning away from faith. Reporter Cinnamon Cornell explains why a new study finds that a large share of millennials are now identifying as atheist or agnostic.
Our Father, who art in heaven.
I really dislike going to church.
Josh Lona was raised in the Catholic Church, but now identifies as atheist because even at a young age, he questioned the factual concept of religion.
I just found it all to be kind of, like, why are we doing this? And then as I got older, I started to realize that it was more of just maybe things that the church put in place.
According to Pew Research, millennials are not as religious as older Americans. However, when it comes to the afterlife, 2/3 of millennials believe in heaven, a similar number to baby boomers.
Pastor Jared Slack of First Austin believes religious institutions have failed young adults by not providing a welcoming atmosphere for all people.
On behalf of the church, I'm really sorry. We're trying, and that we really long to create space for you.
Research shows 27% of millennials attend religious services on a weekly basis, a substantially lower share compared to older generations.
You're seeing a higher level of questioning amongst the newer generation, but also churches aren't as important as they used to be.
The study shows young adults are not as confident in institutions like the government and churches. Instead, they focus on other aspects of life.
They give preference to their cause over religion, and sometimes they think that religion will slow them down.
For Josh, he finds it important to express his admiration for all religions. He just doesn't want to practice it.
You can start to see the disconnect between them and religion, but for other kids, it strengthens kind of their beliefs.
Cinnamon Cornell, Good Morning Texas.
So it's definitely really interesting to hear about how, I guess I've noticed the same thing, how millennials do kind of stray from religion. There's plenty of people that I know that may have been strong in their religion at one point, but they've kind of drifted. Do you kind of see the same trends?
Yeah, I think in college, once students get their own kind of opinions and independence, they decide to go their own path. And for some, that is getting more involved with the church. And then for quite a few, like Cinnamon found, they kind of stray from the church.
Yeah, exactly. And when you go to a church, a lot of times you are seeing, you know, if you go to one, a lot of times you're seeing a lot more younger children that are probably coming with their parents, and then, yeah, a lot of older people. But, you know, with Easter's coming up, we'll see, you know, how people want to go about that. And, you know, with Easter, it's getting warmer. So, you know, with summer skies and warmer temperatures, you know, what better way to begin the spring season than with a festival? So we went out to see how UT students celebrated spring at Holy.
Holy is a festival that celebrates the arrival of spring. Along with that, it's supposed to show that good will always persevere over evil. And along with that, it also celebrates diversity but unity despite that.
This annual Spring Festival at the University of Texas is hosted by the Hindu Student Association, providing the whole campus with a festive environment to celebrate colors, love, and the arrival of spring.
It's like celebrating colors and like enjoying each other's company for the sake of enjoying each other's company and like bringing everyone together. It's like the festival of including everyone in the community.
Holy is celebrated by both the religious and non-religious. It's the perfect event to bring different people together and add color into their life.
According to research, Hinduism is the fourth largest religious community in the United States, making it a prominent part of many people's lives, including our students here at the university.
My practicing of Hinduism has made me more cognizant of how I interact with the world around me and what I do on a daily basis.
Despite Hinduism having a generally large community in the U.S., with Texas being a 77% Christian state, here it can still be seen as a minority. Considering that, this festival carried the message of promoting unity and cultural education within campus, inviting people of all backgrounds to come together and experience what it means to celebrate diversity.
Necessarily, you don't have to be Hindu, you don't have to be X, you don't have to be Y or Z. Right here, you're just like UT student, you're here to have fun, you're here like everybody else. There's a lot of common ground.
J1U, Good Morning Texas.
Now, it's so cool to see a Holy celebration on campus. Have you ever been to one before?
I haven't. It looks like a lot of fun. I feel like I always find out it's happening either after it's already happened or I find out the day of and I can't actually go, but it looks like so much fun.
Yeah, all the colors, it's so beautiful. I've been before and it's just such a fun experience. I'd recommend it to anyone.
Is it kind of hard to like wash off? I feel
Yeah,
like
but it's so worth it to like wear all white, really go for it. It's so much fun.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, don't go anywhere. We have Cinnamon Cornell in our News and Weather Center.
Keep it here for more Good Morning Texas. We're back with Cinnamon Cornell in our News and Weather Center. What's the latest in the news, Cinnamon?
At a recent press briefing, U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions said cities and states protecting immigrant felons from federal immigration laws may see cuts in grant money from the Justice Department. He said, quote, "Failure to deport aliens who are convicted of criminal offenses puts whole communities at risk, especially immigrant communities in the very sanctuary jurisdictions that seek to protect the perpetrators," end quote. Sessions said the department would withhold grants to so-called sanctuary cities that do not comply with the federal immigration law. He said one Justice Department office expects to award more than $4.1 billion in grants this fiscal year. Sessions repeated previous statements from the Trump administration but offered no new policies. Austin Mayor Steve Adler is set to meet with U.S. Homeland Security Secretary John Kelly today as the debate over sanctuary cities continues to spread across Texas. Austin has received backlash in the sanctuary cities debate since Travis County Sheriff Sally Hernandez announced in January that her department will reduce its cooperation with immigration officials. Adler recently attended a City's Day of Immigration Action event, voicing his support for immigrant families and comprehensive immigration reform. Adler looks to clarify one of President Trump's executive orders and what it means for Austin. The order aims to punish jurisdictions with a policy that prevents enforcement of federal law. Adler said, quote, "From where we sit, Austin's one of the safest cities in the country, and we're hoping to be able to stay that way," end quote. As the end of the school year quickly approaches, students and families across Texas worry about one thing: tuition prices. Currently, the University Board of Regents set tuition rates, but 14 years ago, the state of Texas used to have the final say. Now, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick and Senator Kel Selger are leading the effort to retake control over tuition prices in some way. In the past, Texas leaders pointed out how university tuition grew by 150% since tuition decisions were given to the Board of Regents. Regardless of the outcome, more than 500,000 college students will deal with the decision of who sets their tuition prices.
Thanks, Cinnamon. I know that a lot of students are probably going to be struggling with increasing prices with tuition. It can be tough. It can be tough on students paying for their own tuition, and it can be tough on parents that are paying for theirs as well.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear about the possibility of tuition going into the hands of the state as opposed to the board like it is right now. That would be a big change. But I know students might be upset about that, and students also might be upset about the showers. Cinnamon, how's the weather looking for this weekend?
So we experienced severe thunderstorms last night that continued into the early morning. The showers are expected to stick around today with a 50% chance of rain, so keep your umbrellas handy. We can expect a high of 88 and a low of 55. As we move into Thursday, the rain will clear up and we will see cooler temps with a high of 78 and a low of 54. Friday heats back up with another sunny day and a high in the 80s. Expect rain this weekend with a 20% chance of precipitation on Saturday, along with a high of 83 and a low in the mid-60s. We will end the week with a 70% chance of rain on Sunday with possible thunderstorms and a high of 77 and a low of 58, making it the coolest day of the week. So prepare yourself for a few days of spontaneous weather. Back to you guys.
Yikes. Well, I guess we'll have to keep jacket, umbrella, shorts all prepared for this. Thank you so much, Cinnamon.
Now, don't go anywhere. After the break, we have no-bake cookie recipe. You're right here for more Good Morning Texas. Welcome back to Good Morning Texas. We have Chelsea Moreno here showing us her cookies today.
Yeah, I'm going to show you all my favorite no-bake cookies. You know, in the spring weather, it seems like, you know, we don't really want to turn on the oven, right? It's really hot, especially in humid Austin, right? I can barely walk outside without sweating. So, yeah, we're going to be making some delicious cookies today, Avery. So, first of all, you're going to want to start with sugar. So, if you can pass me that sugar really quick. And that measuring cup, you're going to want to take about 2 cups of sugar, and instead of using a clear bowl, you're going to want to put this on the stove. So you might want to use a larger saucepan, like the ones that you use to make pasta or something. And you're just going to empty 2 cups of sugar in that bowl. Just get it all in there, nice and sweet, so that you can have a sugar high after
So when we're cooking this, we'll have this over the stove.
Yes, you'll have it over the stove, and you'll just have it on medium heat about. Once you put that sugar in your bowl, then you're going to want to put 1 stick of melted butter. It's just 1 stick, so you just melt it in there. We're just going to pour it in there really quick. And then we're going to add about 1 cup of milk into that mixture. And of course, since this will be heating up nice and toasty on the stove, you'll have a nice mixture. You want to go ahead and pass me that spoon, Erin, so we can mix this all up? Yeah, so you're just going to want to mix this nice and smooth until you've got a nice mixture. And since it's going to be simmering on the stove, you're going to want all the ingredients to get nice and mixed together. So as you keep mixing it and as the mixture boils, you're only going to want to have it boil on the stove just for 1 minute because you don't want the milk to taste burnt. I don't know if you ever made hot chocolate on the stove.
Hasn't always worked out super well.
Yeah, so you want to be careful not to burn the mixture because that would be bad.
How long do you think it would be on the stove?
So it would just be boiling on the stove for just a minute. So as soon as you hit that minute, you get everything nice and mixed. Then you're gonna wanna add all the rest of your ingredients. So first of all, you wanna hand me those oats, Erin? You're gonna, usually I like to use a lot of oats. So you can use about, I would say about 3 cups of oats into this mixture.
You want me to stir as you pour?
Sure, thank you, Avery. Yeah, so you've just got about
There's
3
1
cups
cup.
of those nice oats. It's healthy, right? It's got to be healthy because it has oatmeal. Is that
Exactly.
Oat
We can eat them for breakfast.
Oatmeal.
Yeah, these cookies are healthy because they have oatmeal. Not so healthy.
Maybe not healthy, but definitely easy.
So once you get your 3 cups of oats in there, you're gonna want to add your almond butter. Now you can use peanut butter as well with this, but if you have nut allergies to peanuts, I'm allergic to peanuts, so I like to use almond butter.
Good idea.
And the recipe calls for half a cup of almond butter, but I don't really like that because I love almond butter. So I just like to get about like a big nice spoonful in there. So we're just gonna add that. Maybe another spoonful, right? Because we're really fond of almond butter.
Almond butter's healthy too, right?
Oh yeah, it's really healthy. I'm telling you, these cookies are healthy, Avery. Once you get past the 2 cups of sugar and
Perfect. And all the
Nutella
butter.
you add in there. So I'm just gonna brow your spoon really
There you
quick,
go.
Avery, and I'm just gonna do that. There we go.
all of it in there.
Gotta get it all nice and mixed. That's right.
None can go to waste.
Then, Erin, I'm gonna have you hold the Nutella. You wanna go ahead and add the Nutella in there? Oops, let's go ahead and use this one. So we're gonna go ahead and add the Nutella. You
How
add
much are we
as
gonna
much Nutella as you want, Erin. I like to
A
add
lot.
about 3 spoonfuls. I like it nice and chocolatey.
This is a big
And
old spoonful.
Here you go.
if you don't want your cookies to come out so sweet, you can balance it out and add some cocoa powder.
Sounds good.
I don't like to balance out my sweet. I just like it pure sweet.
All sweet.
So, I'm
Sounds
not
good to
going to add
me.
any cocoa powder. But if you're not so much of a sweet person, you can balance that out with the cocoa powder.
One more?
Oh, it smells delicious. Smells so
does.
good.
Like hazelnuts. It sounds excellent.
Yes, and then once you add the Nutella, you're gonna want to add just a pinch of salt, you know, to get that just a little bit of
Perfect.
balance. And what that does is it also helps keep the cookies together when you paste them on your little plate. So just gonna add just a little bit of salt there. And then we're gonna add some vanilla as well. I love vanilla. I like vanilla coffee, vanilla creamer. I
Makes
like
everything
vanilla-
taste better.
Yes, I like vanilla candles. I'm just very fond of vanilla.
And now that we have it mixed up, where are we gonna put them?
So what you like to do is just mix that all up nice and well.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to want to have a plate, and you're going to want to line the plate, or you can use a baking sheet as well. Just line it with some nice parchment paper so the cookies don't stick. And all you're going to do is take a spoon and take a spoonful of the cookie, and you're just going to want to paste it on the plate. Oops, I'm making a mess. And you're just going to want to make a nice little formation of a cookie. Now, it doesn't look like much now, but trust me, once you take out that cookie, those cookies from the refrigerator, they are nice and they're just amazing. So once you have all your cookies on here, you're just gonna go ahead and put them in the fridge really quick.
And now,
4 hours later, you have
these.
delicious oatmeal Nutella cookies with almond butter or
Beautiful.
peanut butter.
And
whatever
so
you like.
easy.
So you guys want to go ahead and give those cookies a try? Let me
Sure,
know how
I'd
they
love
taste.
to. Erin, you wanna grab one?
Let's see.
They are good, if I may say so myself.
They are good. Thank you so much, Chelsea.
They are. Yum.
So
Yeah.
good.
No, thank
It's-
you so much for having me.
So thanks, Chelsea, for the wonderful cookie recipe. Delicious. I'll definitely have to try this at home.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
So Chelsea, as well as some of our other staff, we are super excited. We're going to be getting involved with something called 24/7 through Texas Student Television. So with that, it raises money for UT Student Voices. And Texas Student Television, we're all very, very passionate about it. And we would love your donations. It really helps us put on a wonderful show for you guys. So starting next week, we're going to be having recordings going 24 hours, 7 days a week. We're going to be having a 2-3 hour show.
Yes.
Yeah, so next Wednesday, 24 hours of Texas Student Television, all to raise money. So we hope you join us and tune in for that. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Snapchat, and Facebook at Good Morning TX. I'm Avery Tanner.
And I'm Erin Shancy. Thanks so much for watching.